In today's video, we'll look at the DIVEROID Universal Pro smartphone housing and we'll look at its pros and cons. Coming up. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's great to see you back here with me for today's review video. Who would have thought that smartphones would become so popular to capture our underwater adventures only a couple of years ago? Well, they have. Mainly because the quality of footage that you can get out of your smartphone nowadays has become incredible. And the availability of high quality and decently priced underwater smartphone housings has increased dramatically. Unless you're new to this channel, you would know that I have had a favorite underwater smartphone housing for quite some time, the Divevolk C-Touch 4 Max. I leave a link down in the video description below in case you want to check out the review I made about the Divevolk housing a little while ago and to find out why I like this particular housing so much. But back to the DIVEROID housing. This is a housing that has been on the market for quite some time, but not until last week I was personally able to take it for a test dive. In this quick review video today, I want to talk about the features of the DIVEROID Universal Pro smartphone housing and about my experiences that I had with this housing while using it last week here in the Lake of Zurich. Ready? Let's go! The DIVEROID Universal Pro smartphone housing is, as the name suggests, a universal smartphone housing that can accommodate a variety of different smartphone models from different manufacturers. I have tested it using an iPhone X, but it will also work with a large variety of other brands and smartphone models. Like with most underwater smartphone housings, you will need to use their own app, in this case the free DIVEROID app, to connect your smartphone to the DIVEROID housing. The housing is made mainly from polycarbonate material, has a double O-ring feature for added leak protection and is waterproof down to 60 meters. It also includes a dive computer functionality if paired with the optionally available DIVEROID Mini. It has a straightforward 3-button design, integrates a so-called real-time color correction and a logbook feature. The idea was to create a device that can act as a dive computer, an underwater camera and a logbook all in one. My buddy Alex, who lent me his personal DIVEROID housing for the test, also accompanied me on the dive needed to see how well this housing works from the perspective of an underwater image maker. Before we were able to get in the water, we needed to connect the smartphone to the housing. This is done by opening the DIVEROID app and connecting the smartphone to the housing using the Bluetooth connection. Now this doesn't take long, it is an easy process, but it is something that you need to remember because once you've sealed the smartphone inside the housing, there is no way you can connect the smartphone to the housing anymore. And if you forget to do this step on land and before putting the smartphone in there, you will not be able to use your smartphone inside the DIVEROID housing underwater. The 3 buttons are easy to use underwater and allow you to switch in between the different cameras of your smartphone, to activate the digital compass and to apply the real-time color correction, which for some reason didn't really work on our test dive. So Alex applied the color correction in a separate step after the dive inside the DIVEROID app as he was reviewing the footage. The automatic color correction uses the depth information together with an algorithm to determine how much red, among other things like saturation and contrast, it needs to add to the image to make it look better. It is like a digital red or magenta filter, very similar to how parallel cameras work. It worked quite okay on the footage taken throughout our test dive. One major problem with the Diveroid housing is that because you need to use their own app to use the cameras underwater, you are pretty much limiting the capabilities of your smartphone cameras quite a bit. You can only shoot in 4K on the main camera of your smartphone, but not on the wide or the telephoto lens. As soon as you switch to another camera than the main camera of your smartphone, your settings will default back to recording in 1080p, and this is something that you cannot change. Very frustrating in my opinion. All in all, the camera settings that you can manually manipulate with the Diveroid housing are very limited. I didn't find any way to specifically choose what frame rate I want to use, what resolution I want to shoot in, and to adjust the exposure of my image. Yes, you can refocus by pressing the bottom button, but this only works on the center of your image and only temporarily. There is no way to lock focus and/or exposure to a certain part of your image. The integrated dive computer is a nice feature, but to me personally, not a necessity. At times, I even found it rather disturbing to have the overlay permanently displayed on my screen. I also find that the parameters are not located ideally on the screen. They are on your left-hand side, and because of the way the dive housing is shaped in that area, it is sometimes a little hard to see those parameters clearly. The logbook function showing you where on your dive you have taken which photo or video surely is a nice feature. But for me personally, I never use such logbook features and I simply don't really care about them. So, from an underwater image maker's perspective, I find the DIVEROID Universal Pro smartphone housing to be too limiting in choosing settings and preferences for filming and taking photos underwater, especially if you're after acquiring the best possible photo and video results with your smartphone underwater. If underwater photo and video are your priorities, then I think there is better options out on the market for you at an even better price. I'll put the link down in the video description below to a comparison video I made a little while ago. In this video I compare 3 popular underwater smartphone housings to one another, which gives you a good idea on what features are included in other smartphone housings and how they can benefit your underwater videography and photography. And if you want to have a look at the Diveroid housing, I'll also leave a link to it down in the video description below. That sums up my quick review of the Diveroid Universal Pro smartphone housing. I hope it was useful to you, and should there be any other questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much guys for your time and for watching. And now head out there and capture all those amazing underwater adventures of yours, and I look forward to seeing you back here on the channel next Tuesday.